Are you ready to go on? You sure you're ready to go on? I ask that because we will have more and more elements, but we always have to go to the top and check everything. No? So check again your posture, check again your inhale, and now we're going to talk about support. You heard about it, no? Support. You should support. You should support. What is it? What is it? Sometimes it's really hard to understand or to explain, but when it's right, you feel that it's right. So let's try to break it down and to see what it is. I will give you a few examples. When you drive in the car, if you are the driver or if you are young to drive, but you are driving a car, a good car, after a jump, will stop jumping immediately, or even not jump so much and go smoothly, because it has very good supporters. There are springs to the car, and there are supporters to support or to avoid the jumping. Another example, if you ever looked inside the elevator, there are some see-through elevator where you can see the mechanism behind, and you will see big weights. Every elevator has it. Why do they need it? To support the movement of the elevator. Otherwise, it would shake. It's not just up and down, but it has to be supported. So the movement is very smooth. Another example, and then we go into it. Imagine that you have a friend who cannot see, either blindfolded or a blind person, and you have to go together, but you have, let's say, 2 meters apart, and between you is a rope. You go in front, and the blind person behind, and he has to follow you just by the feel of the tension of that rope. So when the tension is fine, you can go together. The moment the tension is not anymore there, and it relaxes, he cannot follow. So if you have this idea together, this jumping or not jumping of the car, of the elevator, or this rope, this is exactly our goal, dealing with the air, so that the air is supported, meaning that the air goes smoothly. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but always smooth. We can imagine that maybe the road is the music, and we go smoothly with the sound or with the air above it. So let's see what it is. Try taking a big breath and hold the air in the body, and then release it all at once. I will show you. Okay? If you did that, good. If you did that, you heard this sound? This is not good. Why? This sound comes from my throat. Meaning that I held the air, I held by the throat. And then it means I did not support. When I support, I hold it down here, and when I release, it comes out freely. There are other ways and other means of support. If I took, for instance, a piece of paper, let's try. And I want to blow less air. Then I have to support more. We use different quantities of air for different dynamics levels. We will get into it later. So the support changes also. Basically, this kind of support is the maximum support, meaning no air comes out. The more air we need, the less we support, the less air we need, the more we support. This will come back later, talking about piano, forte, diminuendo, crescendo, intonation will come. But just remember this basic, what the support is. So I hope now the support issue is a little bit clearer. Maybe one little point more to understand where this thing happens. Basically, our diaphragm, you can feel your diaphragm when you cough, for instance. This is the point. If you want to have a better sense of the diaphragm, a good exercise, maybe not nice, but a good exercise, would be one of your scales, for instance, Tafanel Gobert, or whatever scales you're using. Just try to play with a separation, without a tongue, just with your diaphragm. It won't sound so beautiful, and we don't use it normally by normal playing, but it's good for the feel of the place where the support happens, where the diaphragm is, and maybe also to make this muscle a bit more in shape. Maybe you can see the movement on each and every note. It's not the most beautiful sound production, but it's very effective for this area to get into work, the energy to flow. So this exercise will show you or get you the right feel of the diaphragm. It will also be a little bit of a gymnastics for the diaphragm, so it gets a bit stronger. And then you know better where this supporting happens in the body. So until this point, we talked about posture, breath, support. And you have to remember the support is always there. Basically, by exhale, breathing out, the support is always there. We just release the support in order to breathe in. And then it's always with us. No matter which music, which register, which dynamics, which color, it's always there. So when our posture is good, and our breath is good, and we support, we can now exhale, blowing air out. And by exhale, it's actually very, very simple. 1, always support. 2, never stop the air. Sounds very simple, no? It is simple, but for some reason people have different difficulties with it. We will look at it later. It's basically support and constant flow of air.